Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF44 coming at you with another video. All right, so it's been reported that Russell Westbrook is considering not accepting a buyout. Um, it didn't say specifically from the Lakers because obviously he could be traded to an Indiana Pacer team and then be bought out. But it was reported more so, to be exact to what I read, that he would not be willing to leave the Lakers in that manner. So to be clear, he's not accepting a buyout from the Lakers. Maybe, because that's not official. It's possible that he's thinking that way. So, um, there's two things about that. For one, there's one way to look at it is say, he's as I read and just taking what they said, he's a prideful man, and that's not something that a guy with his cachet is often going to experience, given the fact that he still has a lot left in the tank physically to give to a team. He's not going to be bought out in most circumstances. So it's a bad look on in his mind at this stage in his career. And let's say 4 or 5 years from now, when he's further down the road, if he gets bought out, it doesn't mean as much. But feeling as if he still has a lot left in the tank, that's not something that he would be willing to accept at this point. And then another way of looking at it is, in my opinion, I don't think that's what's best for the Lakers. Now, granted, buying him out does clear off the books, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, you would have to stretch that out over several years. The buyouts usually, well, is that a stretch provision? I don't know. Clearly, I'm not clear on how that works, but there would be some obstacles for the Lakers if they go that path. One, which is clear to me, is that they wouldn't be getting anything in return for him. And judging by what I'm hearing, the Charlotte deal looks like it could net us quite a bit more than I would expect to get at all. So if it's possible for us to trade him to Charlotte for 3 key pieces, or trade him to Indiana for some fresh bodies, then letting him be bought out, letting him walk, buying him out is a loss for our franchise. So neither he nor we should be thinking about buying him out. If it comes to that, we'll cross that road. But if it's no need for it to come to that, then there's just that. We should just go ahead and go forward with the plan to trade Russell Westbrook. That's really all there is to say about that. Now, if we're unable to trade Russell Westbrook and he still doesn't want to be bought out, then we have something we really have a problem about. Because now you're talking about him hijacking his way into a situation where he's potentially not wanted. And that's a massive problem that we don't even want to consider. I don't believe that it'll even get close to that. I'm pretty certain we'll be able to get him to another home. I just don't think it's that bad yet. I don't think it's even going to get there. So, yeah, we don't want him to walk for nothing. We don't want him back next season on that $47 million. Why? Why is it so important we get rid of that 47 now when we know it's expiring at the end of the season? Because we're on a right now timeline at all times as long as LeBron James is here. That's it. That's the only reason. Which is another thing that I'm not so in love with as a fan. I don't like being married to his timeline as it pertains to having to make these type of decisions in haste just because of it. Especially when I can argue his championship winning days here are over. Now, if he goes to another team, go to a super team, of course he can continue to win. If he gets to the right situation, of course he can continue to win. But what I'm saying is, here, I don't see this franchise building around this man with the things that he needs right now, this soon. In my opinion, ideally, he would need to already be in a situation like that in order to secure a championship. That situation is not going to be built in 3 months, and that situation is not going to be executed in 12 or 13 months. I just don't see that being built here. But we could try, and I don't see why they shouldn't try. But if I'm to make an argument for why you shouldn't try, this is it. Rushing deals, making your timeline shrink down to like 3 months. You got to win right now when you know damn well you don't have that stuff. Which is why the rebuild is the best plan, in my opinion. Rather than trying to expedite this process with the clock, reverse that and give yourself an endless timeline to fix this process to fix this problem, rather. That's what I think the Lakers should do. Forget all this LeBron James stuff, because at the end of the day, you can't meet his demands. Once it was clear we couldn't meet his demands, we should have been shifting our focus. But, people are holding on to stuff. Just like we were talking about Russell Westbrook not wanting to be stretched. People are holding on to things in the Laker organization just the same. They don't want to accept that this is It's time to move on. They're afraid to see what change looks like. They don't want to do the revamping the entire front office and all that right away. It's a lot of things that I think would ultimately need to happen in a very perfect way to put us in the upper echelon of teams as soon as the Lakers are trying to make that happen. And because those goals don't appear realistic to me, I'm about tired of hearing about them, and I'm very pessimistic in regards to them. But at the same time, when you hear stuff like what I've been reporting today, Juwan Howard's name, Nick Nurse's name, the possibilities of sending people to Charlotte and what we could get back potentially, all of that stuff does lend itself to things getting better very fast. But it's as good as we need them to get, as soon as we need them to be, hell no. I don't see it. So I'm always honest with the people, man. It is what it is. And, we're just going to take our wins. We're going to count those. And as of right now, as far as Russell Westbrook's concerned, the focus is getting him to Charlotte for a return that is far more than what we should be getting back. Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward's contract, and, of course, Kelly Oubre, his name is floating around in that as well. So if we could turn Russell Westbrook into those three players, that is a victory for sure. So stretching him and then settling for him walking away for nothing after having that on the table, nobody should want that. My name is BDF44. I thank y'all for watching.